Alright. Man, oh man, folks. It feels like SummerSlam and SummerScam tonight is what it felt like. Tonight felt like both SummerSlam and SummerScam. Tonight didn't really deliver that much. This SummerSlam wasn't the greatest SummerSlam pay-per-view of 2020, but this SummerSlam 2020 was still a decent pay-per-view. That is all I'm going to say. For now, that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to say it's a decent pay-per-view. So, folks, welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining my SummerSlam live stream here. Thank you for joining my SummerSlam review. I'm Brennan Ingram here, back here with your WWE Summerslam 2020 review. And don't forget my WWE SummerSlam August the 23rd, 2020 recap and review will be tomorrow, either tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon at around 1 p.m. So I'm gonna have two reviews up. This one's gonna be tonight, and my other SummerSlam review is gonna be my recap and review. That's gonna be live on YouTube this afternoon. So I officially changed it to this afternoon. So it'll be this afternoon at around 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. Or probably at 1 p.m. So, give me your thoughts on SummerSlam in the comment section, in the comments down the session below, folks. Please, I gladly need you to comment your thoughts down the section below, because I want to know if you enjoyed SummerSlam or not. So, before I get started with your WWE Summerslam 2020 review, be sure you hit that like, subscribe button, turn on the bell for all notifications to never miss a single upload of my Ingram Wrestling News videos that I upload to YouTube, that I share on Twitter each and every week to give you the latest WWE and AEW news. Also, have those notifications on to never miss my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and Friday Night SmackDown reviews that go live each and every week. And also never miss my pay-per-view reviews as well. I do takeover reviews and pay-per-view reviews. As you can see, my takeover pay-per-view didn't work out too well, because it was only 0 minutes and 19 seconds. I don't know how the fuck that was. I don't know if there was a hacker trying to mess with my YouTube channel. I think that's what it was. A hacker trying to mess with my YouTube channel. I think that's exactly what it was. Whoever this hacker is, man, needs to reveal himself, man, because I don't know how the fuck my Monday Night Raw, NXT, and SmackDown reviews were all, the ones that all went live. I don't know how the world they got deleted this month. So that person needs to come forward to be honest with me, man, because I really want some answers as to who the hell did it. I really do. So, the Street Profits retain. We got a new Raw Women's Champion crown and a big return. So, let's go ahead and get started with this review, with your WWE SummerSlam 2020 review. So, folks, kickoff show. So they joined the kickoff show. They joined the kickoff show with Charlie Caruso, Booker T, JBL, and Peter Rosenberg and Renee Young. Of course, WWE posted a Renee Young appreciation tweet on their Twitter during the SummerSlam kickoff show. Caruso introduces Renee and says she paved the way for all women like her. And Young confirms that this is her last WWE show. Wouldn't be surprised if AEW signs her and she becomes a colored commentator for AEW. Or an interviewer. She is good at commentating and she's good at interviewing. Especially interviews. She'd be a good interviewer for AEW, man. She really would be. Sound off in the comments below if you all agree with me that Renee Young would be a good interviewer for AEW. Anyways, we see a video package for Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. Booker T reckons Bray Wyatt has the upper hand of tonight's match. But Renee feels different. JBL says, as big and talented as Braun Strowman, or should I say Braun Strowman, because that's exactly what he is, Braun Strowman. I just don't care. I just don't really care too much about Braun Strowman anymore. I really don't. I really don't. I don't fucking give a shit too much about Braun Strowman anymore. I just don't care. I really don't fucking care. His character's not fucking helping him. His fucking character is making himself look like an embarrassment, and it's making himself look worse. And he's slow in the goddamn ring. Why would somebody want to watch a fucking slow 7-foot tall man in a freaking ring? Come on now. Are you kidding me? You gotta be fucking kidding me. You have got to be fucking kidding me. So anyhow, as I was saying, we had got that video package for Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman. Booker T reckons Bray Wyatt has the upper hand ahead of tonight's match. But Renee feels different. JBL says, a big and talented as Braun Strowman is, he's making a mistake by playing Bray's games. Renee says he has to play that game if he wants to win. So then obviously we got Sarah Schreiber interviewing Andrade, Angel Garza, and Zelina Vega. So Angel asks where Charlie is, then hands a rose to Sarah instead, but Vega throws it. Zelina claims again she didn't poison Montez Ford. But it hardly matters because he's fine now. Vega then says Belair attacked her, an innocent bystander, and the WWE Universe has been poisoned by her. Did Zelina Vega just act like a babyface when she said the WWE Universe poisoned Bianca Belair? It sounds to me like Zelina Vega was talking like a babyface in her babyface turn. Could we be seeing a babyface Zelina in the future? I don't know. The way she sounded when she said the WWE Universe was poisoned by Bianca Belair, it sounded like she was turning face for a second there. It looked like it, folks. It really did. So we see a replay of Jeff Hardy winning the Intercontinental Championship on Friday Night SmackDown. You know he cheated his way of winning, right? By hitting AJ Styles with a weapon and Swanton bombing him for the win. Yeah. He actually cheated his fucking way into trying to win that match. Anyways. So the panel talks about how impressive Jeff Hardy's longevity is, as well as how much of an inspiration he is. Oh, he has inspired many, I'm sure. He has inspired many. A lot. So, we got a video package for Rose and Deville. Renee says Sonya has the upper, she has to upper her game to the next level. And she did upper her game to the next level against Mandy Rose tonight. So, she's eyeing the title. And you know what title she's talking about. The title that Bayley actually has, which is a SmackDown Women's Championship. I did say that Sonya Deville's next feud should be with Bayley. Didn't I not say that on my SmackDown review? I did recently say that on my SmackDown review. I did say that Sonya Deville's feud should be with Bayley. Her feud should be with Bayley next. I either said that on my SmackDown review or my Monday Night Raw review. I'm pretty sure I said it on my SmackDown review. Oh, by the way, my SmackDown review is on my channel. If you want to check that out, if you missed my SmackDown review And if you missed watching SmackDown, my SmackDown review is up and running on my YouTube channel. It's still on there, so be sure you check that out, folks. Anyhow, Young also says she's disappointed this isn't a hair versus hair match anymore. Booker says Mandy was the toughest person on Tough Enough, so he sides with her. Rosenberg agrees, but JBL and Renee says Sonya will be kicking her into the employment line. Oh, that sounds threatening. That sounded threatening, didn't it? Sound very, very threatening. Sound more like she was gonna kill her. She sounded like a killer. Sonya Deville's character, man, has really been improving, man. I love this badass Sonya Deville, man. This Sonya Deville is more better than ever. That Sonya Deville, that other heel Sonya Deville, when she was partnering up with Mandy Rose, didn't help her. But this Sonya Deville, this heel Sonya Deville, this Sonya Deville, man, is on a whole nother fucking level. Dead serious, man. On a whole nother level. I mean, dude, she legitimately is killing her character, man. Her character is awesome. Sonya Deville's character is fucking great. It even looked like she played her character on court testifying against that Thomas Phillips, that bitch-ass sicko. The guy that tried to kidnap Sonya Deville. Yeah, don't think I didn't forget about that, because I've heard news about that. Oh, I saw it. I saw Sonya Deville doing the right thing, testifying on the court against that stupid sicko bitch, Thomas Phillips. That fucking blithering fucking idiot, which I wish I could pull a picture up of him to show y'all. But, you know, obviously I don't have a podcast set up, so. But anyways, obviously I don't have a full camera. I don't have the stuff that JD has. Wish I had the stuff that my buddy JD has over on Off the Script. By the way, his SummerSlam review is up. You want to go check his out too. Anyhow, Sonya Deville is doing great with her character. She's doing absolutely a great job, man. She deserves to be in that title picture. She deserves to be Bayley's next opponent for SmackDown Women's Championship. And I think many people would agree with me when I say this. Even JD mentioned something about Sonya Deville needs to be Bayley's next opponent. Even he mentioned something about Sonya Deville and Bayley. But, man, Bayley versus Sonya Deville would be a great match, man. That would be another good dream match right there. Bayley versus Sonya Deville. That would be an absolute great dream match. Anyways, it's time to look at Asuka and her 2 title shots tonight. I don't even know why Asuka got 2 title shots. She should have got 1 and not 2. It didn't make sense for her to get 2. Why would you have Asuka get 2? I don't get it. It just that now that's one thing on the show that didn't make sense to me. Putting her in 2 title matches. Are you fucking serious? WWE, don't you think that's kind of stupid? Don't you think that doesn't make sense? Don't you think that? I mean, how stupid does it sound to put a superstar in 2 women's title matches? Are you fucking serious? I mean, that didn't make sense for me to begin with. From the get-go. Right off the bat, it didn't make sense. So, Shayna Baszler interrupts the panel before they can talk about it. Baszler says she doesn't care about Bayley, those straps, because she has next dips on the Raw Women's Champion. Charlie asks about Nia Jackson. Shayna says Nia is obsessed with her, and she'll be happy to help Nia get to sleep when she comes back. The panel joke about Retribution, asking who they are and if they use Amazon Prime to get their gear delivered. What the fuck kind of... Oh, God. JBL says invasions leave incredible legacies, and WWE Retribution could lead to big things. Yeah, more like the retro midgets. The fucking retro midgets that ruined the Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt face-off. Anyhow, that they ruined the Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt face-off over on SmackDown last Friday. Is what I'm saying. So anyways, at least they didn't ruin SummerSlam. At least they didn't ruin SummerSlam. At least there was no chaos in SummerSlam, man. At least they didn't ruin that. I mean, at least we didn't see Retribution ruin SummerSlam, at least. Anyways, we get a big package for Dominik Mysterio versus Seth Rollins. And Dominik's debut match. Booker T talks about the kendo attack from Seth to Dominik and says that was the making of a man. That was the making of the man. JBL says he and Booger both know what it's like to be initiated, I guess you could say, with kendo sticks, and it's no joke. So we got Apollo Cruz versus MVP, which MVP I don't have on the game, and I don't want him on this game anyway because he sucks at what he does in the ring. So it's Apollo Cruz versus MVP, WWE's typical garbage MVP. Because that's exactly what he is, WWE's typical garbage. Because I don't like what he does in the ring. I don't like him at all. His son doesn't even like him. As a WWE superstar. His own son doesn't even like him. His own son. He's not his own son's favorite superstar. I mean, if that doesn't make you laugh, then something's wrong. Because that obviously is fucking funny. So anyways, the match gets underway and they lock up with MVP, ankle picking Apollo and rolling into an ankle lock. But Cruz reaches the ropes. This time Cruz takes the back, but MVP takes him down and Cruz calls for a timeout. Back in the ring, MVP finds an united shoe, or finds an untied shoe, should I say, and soccer punches Apollo. Probably can't even play. MVP probably don't even know how to play soccer, big as he is. Apollo, so he soccer punches Apollo, but the champion fires back with a drop kick and an arm drag. MVP gets whipped to the buckles, but avoids a splash and throws Cruz over the ropes. See, this right here tells you right there how bad MVP is already doing in the ring. That right there tells you how bad he is in the ring. That is how bad he is in the ring. That is how bad he sucks in the ring, MVP. Reading this already tells me how bad he is in the ring and how garbage he is, man. Absolutely nauseating. I hate watching MVP in the ring. I really do. It makes me want to pick up that remote control and change the goddamn channel. That's exactly what it makes me want to do. Anyhow. So, the champion fires back with a dropkick and an arm drag. MVP gets whipped to the buckles but avoids a splash and throws Cruz over the ropes, so he hits his head on the steps. MVP goes out and slams Cruz into the announce table before putting him back inside. MVP misses a running kick in the corner and Apollo kicks him down. Apollo goes up top, but MVP slams into the ropes to crutch him. MVP climbs up with Cruz and hits a superplex for a 2 count. Cruz catches a kick and clotheslines MVP over the ropes. Then hits a toe to whip him out. Both men get back inside at the count of 9. And Apollo uploads on MVP battering him into the corner and hitting a running splash. Then another and a spinebuster. Standing moonsault from Cruz earns a near fall. MVP counters a toss powerbomb and looks for the playmaker, but Cruz breaks free and hits the toss powerbomb for the win. Folks, this wasn't really a good match to start off SummerSlam for two reasons. Number one, MVP was in it. MVP was in it, and he did terrible, as usual. Absolutely terrible in the ring, as usual. And number two, folks, I wasn't interested in watching it. So that's one match I was not interested in watching. But I am glad that Apollo Crews was able to retain his United States Championship. Good for Apollo Crews. But I wasn't interested in watching it because MVP was in this match. Please, I hope this feud ends right now, because I absolutely am not interested in this fucking feud. I hope they scrap this feud and end it. This feud is so boring. Seriously, WWE, please end this feud. This feud is so boring. Nobody wants this feud to continue. Everybody wants this feud to be over. Apollo Crews, they need to find another feud for Apollo Crews, because this feud ain't getting it. But Apollo Crews he wins. You know, he retained his United States Championship, which I'm glad, which is great. Good for him. Congrats to him. I just want WWE to move on with this feud and put Apollo Crews in the next feud. It feels like they are continuing this feud forever. It feels like this feud's going to be forever until they want to end it. Let's be honest. Tomorrow's Monday Night Raw is probably going to be the same shit like it was last Monday, probably. Let's be honest. It's going to be the same fucking garbage. If you know what I mean. Anyways, after the match, Shelton Benjamin and Bobby Lashley run down, but Cruz slips and dodges them to retreat. Good. Apollo Crews made sure they wouldn't jump him. So basically, the heels came to check on MVP, where they went to go get Apollo Crews, but Apollo Crews retreated. So basically, the heels were down there to go check on Apollo. I mean, not Apollo, but to go check on MVP. Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin were. So anyways, the final match up for decision is Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. And we get a video package. Booker T says, when you get to the apex of the business, you can get inside your own head. That is rarely true. And believe you are the best. And he thinks Randy will get taken down a peg tonight. Rosenberg and Renee says Orton is simply unstoppable right now. The panel closes out the kickoff show by thanking Renee Young and wishing her all the best. Renee Young, I also wish you the best. Hopefully AEW signs you. Hopefully you'll become a good interviewer for AEW, or hopefully you continue your cookbook. Hopefully you find something that fits you, that suits you. Hopefully. But good luck to Renee Young on whatever she's planning on doing next. Away from WWE. Because a lot of people's going to miss her. I actually miss seeing her on TV too, because she was a good interviewer. She's a good commentator, you know. Everybody misses her. When I mean everybody, I mean everybody. Okay, let me stop. So, it was officially time for SummerSlam 2020. So, we got the SmackDown Women's Champion. SmackDown Women's Championship. We got Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's Champion versus Asuka. So that's what we got. That's the first match we got to start off SummerSlam. Obviously, the kickoff match was Apollo Crews versus MVP. I don't know if y'all got that, but now you know. So check this out. Here's what happened with the title match. So the opening match of the night gets underway and they lock up with Asuka forcing Bayley to the ropes, then grabbing her wrist before drilling her with forearms. So yeah, once she dodging Bayley and hits a drop kick. Asuka kicks Bayley a few times, then applies and hits a drop kick. Asuka kicks Bayley a few times, then applies and hits a drop kick. Asuka kicks Bayley a few times. She kicks Bayley a few times, then applies a modified octopus stretch. But the champion gets to the bottom rope. I almost said bathroom. It gets to the bottom rope. Bayley rolls to the apron and Asuka baseball slides her feet. Then hits a hip attack that knocks Bayley to the floor. Asuka goes to the steel steps and jumps at Bayley with a flying DDT on the floor. So Asuka gets back inside for a 2 count. Asuka goes to the apron, but Bayley slingshots her, then hits a leg drop to the back of her head across the middle rope. Bayley stomps Asuka. She stomps Asuka. Hits a suplex and moves to a sleeper hold in the middle of the ring. So then Asuka gets to the ropes and kicks out at Bayley, but the champion hits a belly to belly out of nowhere, only for Asuka to kick out. Asuka rolls up Bayley for 2, then hits a head kick, and both women go down. Asuka fires up and hits some drop kicks to Bayley, followed by a hip attack for a 2 count. Both women wind up on the apron, and Asuka kicks Bayley a few times, but the champion drops her knee first onto the apron. Bayley gets Asuka back in the ring and hits a chop block for 2. Bayley applies a calf slicer to Asuka, but the challenger reverses the hold. Bayley breaks free and runs at Asuka, but gets caught with a cold breaker for a near fall. Asuka goes up top and looks for a missile drop kick, but Bayley catches her in midair with the calf slicer again. Asuka gets the ropes, but Bayley won't break until 4. Bayley hits a sunset flip buckle bomb, then goes up top for the elbow drop, but Asuka catches her with an armbar. Bayley retches, but Banks gets involved, and Asuka lets go of Bayley to kick her. So then Bayley rolls up Asuka for 2, and Asuka looks for a hip attack, but Bayley dodges, and she hits Sasha on the apron. Bayley rolls Asuka up for the win. So Sasha runs into the ring and attacks Asuka as soon as the bell rings. So she and Bayley then hit Asuka with a double team slam before smiling and leaving together. So then we see Dominik Mysterio backstage with his father and mother. He kisses his mother and she leaves. Dominik thanks his dad for being here, but asks him not to come out. He says this is his fight and he needs revenge for them both. If he's going down on his own. Bray says he doesn't like it, but he has his word. So we got a video package airing showing the recent attacks by Retribution. And then Kevin Owens. Yes, folks. Kevin Owens fight Owens fight. Yeah, that guy. Kevin Owens comes out and joins the commentary. So, we got the Raw Tag Team Champions on the line. We got Angelo Dawkins, Montez Ford versus Angel Garza and Andrade Cien Almas, or should I just say Andrade? Because I think it should just be referred to as Andrade. Andrade with Zelina Vega at ringside. Hang on a second. I knew I should have just put Zelina Vega's manager. I wasn't thinking. But yeah, the Raw Tag Team Champions are on the line. It's the Street Profits versus Angel Garza and Andrade with Zelina Vega at ringside. So here is what happened with this Raw Tag Team Championship matchup. So we start the match with Montez Ford and Andrade. The former NXT champion chops Montez and forces him to the ropes. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention this too before I started telling you all what happened with this match. So, I forgot to mention that, what was it I forgot to mention? I forgot to mention that, Bayley defeats Asuka to retain her women's championship in a little decent match. The most not shocking and interesting thing is the simple fact that Sasha Banks helped Bayley retain, folks. So anyways, back to telling you all what happened with this Raw Championship matchup. This Raw Tag Team Championship match. So, again, we start with Montez Ford and Andrade, the former NXT champion, chops Montez Ford and forces him to the ropes, but Ford fires back with a big clothesline. Andrade goes to the middle rope, but Montez hits a Hurricane Rana and clotheslines him over the ropes to the floor. So then Angel runs in, as does Dawkins. And the Profits hit him with a flapjack, then toss him out. So then Ford looks for a tope, but gets caught by men. He gets caught by both men and power bombs on the floor. So basically, he got powerbomb on the floor before getting caught by the men. Or after he got caught by both men, then he got powerbomb on the floor. Makes sense what I'm trying to say? Anyways, Andrade gets Ford back inside and stomps him down. Montez rolls to the apron and Andrade hits him with a baseball slide and tags Angel. Garza holds Ford down by the arm, so Ford gets on the middle rope, but Garza kicks his knee. Then his trousers at him. He throws his trousers at him. I guess his pants, basically. They didn't want to mention that he threw his pants at him. That's what they didn't want to mention. So anyways, Andrade gets tagged back in and performs an armbar over the arm again. Montez fights up but gets forced to the corner and Garza tags in. Garza leads forward, then puts him in the Tree of Woe for a running kick. Andrade tags in and hits a double stomp in the tree for a near fall. Ford counters a backdrop and gets the tag. Dawkins storms Andrade with shoulder tackles and a spinning splash in the corner, but gets his headband knocked off a spinning elbow. Andrade hits the ropes, but Dawkins catches him with a great spear and both men are down. Angel and Ford get tags and Montez hits a high crossbody but misses a drop kick, and Garza kicks him in the head for a 2 count. Selena gets on the apron and argues with the referee, but Garza super kicks Ford into her and she falls off. Andrade is busy tending to Zelina, allowing the Profits to hit a spinebuster and a frog splash for the win. Folks, I basically think both of the Street Profits could be big stars as solo acts if WWE was able to book it correctly. Notice I said correctly, because they don't book stuff correctly on these damn shows. That's been part of the problem with WWE lately. Not only that, they're failing. They're continuing to fail building new stars. They're still continuing to fail to build new stars. They should have had Bianca Belair at ringside. And where was she? Not there. I mean, she was part of the storyline. She's in a storyline with Selena Vega. Bianca Belair should have been ringside. I don't know why she wasn't. I guess WWE didn't want her ringside. Well, they should have put her ringside. Makes sense. Given the fact she was in a storyline, she was in a feud with Selena Vega. So anyway, both are great talents in the ring and very entertaining. And I'm referring to the Street Profits. Yes, I am referring to them. They are both great talents in the ring and very entertaining. And as for Andrade and Angel Garza, they are both great as well and talented. But also a breakup, folks. Also, a breakup seems like the only way to go with them. And that's all I have to say about this one. So, moving on to the next here. Kayla Braxton interviews Sasha Banks and Bayley backstage. Bayley says this is a magical moment, and Banks says it isn't over yet. The night is going to get even better when she taps out Asuka. Bayley says it will be a clean sweep and pulls out a broom and starts sweeping. Oh man, here we go, folks. This is what I've been fucking waiting for. This is what I've been waiting to get to, and you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. You know exactly what match came up next last night on SummerSlam. You know exactly what match came up next. For a minute, I thought it wasn't going to happen tonight because of Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose thinking about that stupid man that tried to kidnap them, that sicko, that idiot, Thomas Phillips, that psycho bitch. But anyways, we got we got Sonya Deville versus Mandy Rose. Loser leaves WWE. So, here is what happened with this match, which should have been a hair versus hair match, but it wasn't. The bell rings and Sonya comes into Mandy's face. Mandy looks for a kick, but Sonya rolls her up for two, and Rose kicks her out of the ring. They brawl on the floor, with Rose slamming Sonya into the barricade, then the steps. So Rose drags her around the ring and beats her against the apron, then slams her into the barricade again. Rose gets on the announce table and jumps at Sonya with a clothesline. Then Rose gets a table from under the ring and sets it up at ringside, but Sonya Deville comes back and hits her with a steel chair. Then Sonya Deville methodically beats Rose and gets her back in the ring. Gets her back in the ring for a running knee and a 2 count. Rose catches a kick and takes her down, but Sonya kicks her off. Rose hits a clothesline in the corner, but misses a running knee. Deville applies a standing dragon sleeper, then transitions to the ground. Rose eventually fights out, but Deville catches her. Deville catches her with a triangle. Mandy pushes up to try and pin her, but Deville kicks out. Sonya talks trash as she shoves her face, but Rose fires back with right hands and a leaping knee for a 2 count. That's how you know this feud is personal. Deville rolls outside and Rose goes after, slamming her into the barricade and the announce desk. Mandy sets Sonya on the table at ringside, then gets on the apron, but Sonya rolls off. Rose goes under the ring and pulls out a table. Throws it at Sonya's face, but she dodges it. Deville flips the table and runs at her for the big kick. Back in the ring, and Sonya lifts Mandy Rose for Rose's own finisher, but she lands on her feet and hits a running knee, and another, and a third. Rose lifts Sonya and hits the glam slam. Mandy hits a 4th running knee, and that's all she wrote. My thoughts on this match? Well, Mandy Rose defeats Sonya Deville kind of makes sense. I'm assuming that the women wants out of the public spotlight right now. Both women wants out of the public spotlight right now after what happened last week. You know what happened last week. Thomas Phillips tried to attempt to kidnap Sonya Deville, and he is currently still in jail. That sick bastard, he deserves to rot in hell for trying to damn kidnap Sonya Deville. That fucking psycho bitch. That guy. He deserves to rot in fucking hell for what he did. That was just sickening. That's just bad, man. And he's not the only one that's been committing kidnapping shit like this. There's other criminals that's doing the same thing. It never fails, man. This crime stuff around this world, it never fucking fails. It really never fails. It really doesn't. So Deville has to now leave, but not really. Deville or Mandy Rose is not really leaving WWE. They're still staying with WWE. I don't know why people are thinking that Deville's going to actually leave when she's not. I don't know why they're thinking that. Nobody wants Deville to leave WWE. Trust me. I don't know if this match ends the feud with Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose or not. Or this feud could be continuing. I don't know. One or the other. I'm not sure. But this was a good loser leave WWE kind of match. It wasn't too bad. So it said, after this match, Sonya Deville must leave WWE, but she's not really leaving WWE, though. That's the problem. She rolls out of the ring, no selling the mountain of finishers she just took, and repeatedly slaps the announce table in frustration. Otis comes running out and hugs Mandy after a big win, then puts her on his shoulder. Otis gets her to do her version of the caterpillar. So then we got the street fight. We got Seth Rollins, more like Seth freaking Rollins, the greater good, more like the greater garbage, because that's what he is, the greater garbage, because he's always fucking complaining, saying that fans are criticizing this, criticizing that, when the fans have a reason to do that. I mean, if the show fucking sucks, if Monday Night Raw sucks, Monday Night Raw sucks. You can't be criticizing fans for them thinking that Monday Night Raw sucks. The show sucks every fucking Monday night. Damn. I'm sure Seth Rollins would have figured out why the show sucks by now. Just like everybody else. Just like every WWE fan. Just like every human being around this world should know why Monday Night Raw sucks every Monday night. There's a variety of reasons why the show sucks. For one, you got all this bad booking going on the show. For two, you got all these bad segments. For three, you got all these goddamn bad interviews and all these fucking garbage bookings on the show. And then four, you got all these goddamn garbage characters like Akira Tozawa and his fucking ninja character. Absolutely trash. Just like the same thing I say about WWE's typical garbage, King Corbin. Creative management, creative team, Vince McMahon, they're not doing their fucking jobs. They're not generating these ratings. They are not trying. They're not trying enough to build new stars. That's another reason why this show fucking sucks. They're not building stars. If you're not gonna build stars, then what's the use of even having a goddamn show if you're not gonna build new fucking stars? Are you goddamn serious right now? Do you really want me to get started? Do you people really want me to go there with this crap? Still used to having a fucking Monday Night Raw show and a SmackDown show when you're opting to fail to build new stars, for fuck's sake, man. Jeez. WWE needs to work on building new stars, because at this point, all they care about is their fucking other talent and not caring about their young talent. They need to care more enough about their young talent. Build the NXT female and male young talent up for the main roster call-up. Now all of a sudden, now WWE decides to call up an NXT superstar that recently just lost his NXT championship, which happens to be Keith Lee. Now they're calling him up to the main roster. Oh, I guess they said, well, as soon as Keith Lee loses an NXT championship match, we're going to call him up to the main roster. Because that's exactly what happened. Now Keith Lee is being called up to the main roster. Now he's supposed to arrive on Raw tomorrow. I think it was best for him to go to SmackDown and not Raw. Raw has got too many people on their roster. SmackDown doesn't have too many people on the roster. You got people like Jason Riker that's out. And Xavier Woods is out. You got a lot of people in the SmackDown roster that's out with injury. Even Lars Sullivan. Lars Sullivan is training for his return. They could be putting Lars Sullivan on Raw. I won't be surprised if they fucking put Lars Sullivan on Raw. WWE is going to be an absolute fucking disaster. It is really going to be an absolute disaster if they put Lars Sullivan on Raw. If they, swear to God, if they put Lars Sullivan on Raw, Monday Night Raw roster is going to be an absolute disaster. And then, not to mention, you got Retribution members, Dijakovic. This is just, it's fucking too much, man. WWE is trying to do this on purpose, man. I believe that, and you wonder why their schedules are all fucked up. Now you wonder why WWE's schedule's fucked up. You got a next pay-per-view coming up, Payback, and then after that, you got this Saturday main event pay-per-view that's supposed to be rumored to be coming up after Payback. Jesus Christ. This is why, WWE, this is why your schedule is fucked up. You're putting too many pay-per-views up there. And you probably don't even have a script written for that. WWE probably doesn't even have any scripts written for Payback. They haven't even put any matches on the Payback card yet. How are you going to have a pay-per-view ready when you don't even have matches on the goddamn card? Holy fuck, man. Are you serious? How you gonna have a pay-per-view after Payback when you don't even have matches on the card for that one either? It makes sense what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? WWE always messes up everything they do. Why the fuck is Vince McMahon still chairman? I'm gonna need the WWE community to sign a petition to get Vince McMahon to step down as chairman. Seriously. They need to work on signing a petition for Vince McMahon to step down as chairman instead of signing a petition to get Velveteen Dream fired from WWE. That's what the fuck they need to be fucking doing. That's the fuck some of the WWE's. That's the fuck some of these fans in the wrestling community need to be doing. Shoot. If anything, Vince McMahon needs to be fucking fired. Needs to be removed. Along with Bruce and Kowalski. God damn it. Because they fucking suck. Creatively fucking suck. Just like Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. Just like the fucking Thunderdome last week. And you can bet your ass that Monday Night Raw Thunderdome is going to absolutely fucking suck tonight. After what we seen at the SmackDown Thunderdome last Friday. After what we just watched at the SmackDown Thunderdome last Friday. You can bet your ass that Monday Night Raw is going to be absolutely nauseating garbage tonight. You better believe it. I hope not. But something tells me it is. So anyways, we got the street fight match. Seth Rollins with Murphy versus Dominik Mysterio. I was about to say Dominik Dijakovic. Even though Dominik Dijakovic is rumored to be the tall guy with the mask that we saw in the ring on SmackDown. Thunderdome, the Thunder Scam. There's a new one for you, JD. Thunder Scam. Oh, man. I just made up a new one. I think it should be Thunder Scam instead of Thunderdome. That's exactly what it is. Thunder Scam. Oh, man. Anyways, the bell rings, and they lock up with Seth taking the back and slamming Dominik down. So Seth laughs at him before taking his wrist and transitioning to a headlock on the mat. Seth lets him go and continues to poke fun. Oh, really? That's exactly what I do when I poke fun at the Monday Night Garbage we get every Monday nights. Especially when I'm seeing typical garbage MVP and Nia Jax on my TV. Especially when I see the moronics, it make me want to pick up the DirecTV remote control and change the channel. Because nobody wants to see the moronics on my TV. I know I don't. Nobody cares about the fucking moronics. Anyway, Rollins lets Dominik takes a headlock and then slams him down. Seth takes the wrist again, but his time Dominik punches him a few times and hits a tilt-a-whirl arm drag. Folks, can you imagine how confusing it's going to be to have two Dominiks? You got Dominik Mysterio and Dominik Dijakovic. Two fucking Dominiks. You gotta be kidding me. 2 fucking Dominiques, folks. Unless they change Dominik Dijakovic's name, they're going to be an absolute failure if they change Dominik Dijakovic's name. They might as well keep Dominik Dijakovic's name the same. Or, unless they change Dominik Mysterio's name, I don't know. We got 2 Dominiques in the WWE now. WWE doesn't like to have 2 of the same names in the WWE. You know that. Anyways. Dominik hits an arm drag, then another, and kips up. Seth looks at Ray, and Dominik tells him to bring it. Seth feigns another lockup, but then takes Dominik down and stomps him, followed by a stiff body slam. Seth asks Murphy for a kendo stick, but Dominik drop kicks him and grabs the stick for himself. Seth rolls out of the ring and Dom chases him around the ring until Seth gets the high ground and kicks him down. So Seth whips Dominik hard into the buckles. Then suplexes him. Seth talks trash to Ray. Oh yeah, I forgot there is a match on the card for Payback. The women's tag team titles are supposed to be on the line. I just thought about that. But they still ain't got no other matches on the fucking card. Good as that fucking do. You got 1 match announced for Payback. You fucking serious? Told you, man. That is a sign that WWE's schedule is fucked up. I told y'all what WWE does, man. They are known for making big freaking mistakes, man. Telling you, their schedule's gonna get even more messed up. They keep putting even more stuff on there. Where in the world was I reading? Oh, I know what I was reading now. So, Dom hits an arm drag, then another, and kips up. Okay, I read that one. Seth locks at Ray, and Dominik tells him to bring it. Seth feigns another lock. Read that one already. Takes Dominik down and stomps him, followed by a stiff body slam. Seth asks Murphy for a kendo stick, but Dominik drop kicks him and grabs the stick for himself. Seth rolls out the ring. Dom chases him around the ring until Seth gets the high ground and kicks him down. Okay, that's where I was reading that. I remember what I was reading that now. Seth whips Dominik hard into the buckles. Then suplexes him. Seth talks trash to Ray. Then beats Dominik down and grabs a chair. We see Dom's mother watching backstage as Seth opens the chair and sits on it. Ray gets on the apron, but Dominik tells him to back off. Rollins looks to hit a stomp off the chair, but Dominik avoids it and hits a drop toe hold onto the chair. Dominik punches Seth backwards into the corner and looks for 10 punches. Seth grabs him and looks for a buckle bomb, but Dominik counters with an hurricanrana into the buckles. Dominik jumps up using the ropes and hits a tornado DDT for a 2 count. Dom grabs the kendo stick and hits rolling across the gut. Ew. Then the back a few times until the stick shatters. Dominik goes to the top rope, but Seth punches him. Seth looks for a superplex, but Dominik punches him off. Seth jumps back up and hits a superplex into a Falcon Arrow for a near fall. Rollins gets 2 kendo sticks from Murphy and starts uploading on Dominik, then asks for a table. Seth sets the table up and puts Dominik on the top rope. Seth gets up behind Dominik with the kendo stick and talks trash to Ray below. But Dom kicks leg sweep off the ropes through the table. Dominik rolls to the apron and goes up top for a 5-star frog splash in a near fall. Dominik rolls outside and grabs a chair, but slides it too hard. And Seth kicks it out. Then super kicks him. Rollins hits a vicious powerbomb before tearing Dominik's shirt. Before tearing Dominik's shirt off and battering him with the kendo stick. Ray gets on the apron, but again, Dom tells him not to intervene. Murphy gives Seth some handcuffs and he drags Dom over the ropes. Angie Mysterio comes to the stage and Ray runs up to calm her down. The distraction allows Dominik to roll up Seth for a near fall. Murphy runs in and attacks Dominik, then takes him outside and tries to jam his eye into the steel steps. Ray comes down the ramp and attacks Murphy, but Seth attacks Ray. They toss Dominik into the barricade, then Ray into the apron. Ray gets handcuffed to the middle rope, and they look to beat him with kendo sticks, but Seth turns to Ray's wife instead. Murphy grabs Ray as Seth marches up the ramp. Dominik attacks Seth from behind and uploads. Dom tosses Murphy over the barricade, then shoves Seth into the steps. Murphy comes running back, but Dom back body drops him on the floor, then gets Seth back inside and hits a 619. Dominik goes up top and jumps for a frog splash, but Seth gets his knees up. Rollins drags Dominik away from Ray, who climbs into the ring. Seth mocks him before hitting the stomp for the win. So, oh folks, by the way, if you're wondering who made Seth Rollins gear that night, the person that made Seth Rollins gear that night happened to be Sasha Banks' husband that made Seth Rollins gear for that night. In case you were wondering who made that gear. And I also tweeted a poll. Asking you all on Twitter, what did you make of Seth Rollins versus Dominik Mysterio at SummerSlam? So comment down in the section below. Comment your thoughts on Seth Rollins versus Dominik Mysterio in the section below. I want to see your thoughts on that match. Your thoughts are important to me. In a big way. So Seth gives Dominik the key to the handcuffs before leaving with Murphy, a big smile on his face. Dominik rolls over to Ray and gives him the key. So Ray unlocks himself and hugs Dominik. So we got the Raw Women's Championship match. Of course, that title match changed. And you'll find out why it changed. You'll find out why that match changed. So we got Sasha Banks, the woman with the sexy voice, with Bayley versus Asuka. So we got Sasha Banks versus Asuka. So here is what happened with this match. So the second title match of the night for Asuka gets underway, which didn't make sense. I don't know why she got put in two title matches. Underway with Sasha storming her and taking her down. Asuka comes back with repeated kicks to the face, then kicks to the gut, and a running clothesline. Banks rolls outside, and Asuka chases after. Banks tries to hit a Hurricane Rana, but Asuka counters into a knee bar. So then Sasha gets back into the ring, but Asuka hits her with a hip attack in the corner, followed by a snapmare. Asuka looks for an armbar, but Banks breaks free and stomps her. They get on the apron, and Asuka kicks her against the ring post, but dodges the last kick. And Asuka hits the pole. Banks then hits a sunset flip powerbomb to Asuka from the apron to the floor. Then Banks scores a 2 count back inside. Then kicks her in the corner. Banks climbs the ropes, but Asuka hits a facebuster and goes into a knee bar. Sasha breaks free, and they wind up struggling on the top rope until Asuka hits a spear, or Asuka hits a super DDT, not a spear. Asuka hits a missile dropkick and scores a 2 count. Banks slams Asuka and goes up top for a frog splash. Asuka moves out of the way. Both women go to opposite corners, then run at each other. And Asuka catches her with a flying armbar. Asuka attempts to transition into the Asuka lock, but Sasha counters into the Banks statement. Asuka breaks free and applies the Asuka lock. Banks simply rolls out and shoves Asuka away, but the Empress fires back with a super kick. Similarly to the first match. Yep. She fired back with a super kick similar to the first match, and Bayley gets on the apron, and Asuka locks for the hip attack, but this time she boos. Banks look to capitalize, but Asuka gets her in the Asuka lock, and she taps. So your winner and your new Raw Women's Champion, Asuka. Your Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, was crowned. She's the new Raw Women's Champion now. Sasha can't believe she lost. Bayley gets into the ring, hands her the tag title, and apologized, but Sasha looks pissed. They'll have to defend those titles next Sunday at Payback. I don't understand why they got a pay-per-view after SummerSlam. It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Anyhow, so we got the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton. That match was up next. Oh, by the way, that match between Dominik and Seth Rollins was good. The match between Asuka and Sasha Banks was short. It felt short. It was short. Folks, here's what I can't believe, though. I can't believe that someone made their screen say Velveteen Dream. Someone made the screen say Fire Velveteen Dream at WWE SummerSlam. Wow. I can't believe someone pulled that one off, folks. I was surprised. Genuinely surprised by that. So, Asuka defeats Sasha Banks to become Raw Women's Champion, which you know what that means, right? Time for the Bayley and Sasha Banks breakup storyline. I mean, am I right? It's almost time for it. It needs to happen. That's all I can freaking say. That shit needs to happen right now. You know what I'm saying? That jump needs to happen right now. You know what I'm saying, man? So, yeah. So, yeah. WWE Championship match. So, we got that. Of course, Drew McIntyre defending his WWE Championship against Randy Orton, the Viper, the Legend Killer, the 3 most destructive letters in the WWE. RKO. Y'all thought I was going to get that wrong, didn't you? You thought. Ha ha. Like that was supposed to be funny anyway. It wasn't. It wasn't meant to be funny. Anyhow, here's what happened with this championship match, this WWE Championship match between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. So, This highly anticipated match gets underway and Drew runs at Orton, who rolls out of the ring. Orton walks around the ring as Drew just watches on. Orton gets back inside, ducks a punch, and kicks the champion. Drew whips him to the ropes, but Orton slides out and stares at him. Drew chases after Orton, who slides back in and stomps Drew down. Orton looks for a quick RKO, but McIntyre shoves him off. Drew hits the ropes and looks to leap over Orton, but Randy catches his ankle and tries for an RKO again, but Drew throws him off. At this time, he rolls out. McIntyre smiles as he gets in the ring, then forces Orton to the corner and punches him a few times. Orton breaks free and attempts the RKO again, but Drew throws him off, runs for a shoulder tackle, but hits the ring post. Drew rolls outside, but Randy goes out and tosses him into the barricade. So then, the announce desk and the ring post. Orton lifts up, but Orton slams him down and stomps his lamps. Randy lifts Drew and looks to whip him to the corner, but it's reversed. Orton looks to kick Drew, but the champion catches his foot and hits a knee breaker. Randy kicks Drew's knee out from him, and McIntyre hits a small cut above his eye. Yeah, McIntyre had a small cut above his eye. That looked bad. Orton punches Drew a few times. He hits the ropes, but McIntyre catches him with a spine buster. McIntyre gets Orton in a figure four leg lock, and he struggles to break free and not get pinned. Orton rolls to reverse the pressure, but Drew rolls right through. McIntyre punches him in the hold, but Orton pulls the referee by the shirt and uses the second to poke Drew in the eye. Both men get to their feet, but Drew drops him with a chop to the chest. Drew lands a few hands. Orton looks for an RKO, but it's scuffed. It's scuffed again. So now Drew builds a head of steam with overhead belly-to-belly suplexes. McIntyre goes to the top rope and hits a flying clothesline before keeping up. McIntyre slams Randy into the turnbuckle, then lifts him onto the top rope and chops the chest. Drew punches him on the top rope and busts him open. Orton knocks Drew down into the tree room, but McIntyre sits up and tosses him across the ring. McIntyre hits the Future Shock DDT for a near fall. McIntyre fights Orton off and goes to the top rope again, but this time he misses the clothesline and Orton hits a snap power slam for a 2 count. Drew rolls to the apron and Orton grabs him for the draping DDT. But McIntyre jumps off and hits a Glasgow kiss. McIntyre clotheslines Orton over the top rope, but both men fall to the floor. Orton gets back into the ring first, and when Drew McIntyre tries to enter, Orton catches him with a draping DDT. Orton drops to the mat and readies himself, but instead of the RKO, he lines up a punt. He runs for it, but Drew counters with a powerbomb. McIntyre goes to the corner, screams for Orton to get up, then runs, but Orton ducks the Claymore kick. Orton looks for an RKO, but Drew counters with a backslide and wins. So, and then it says tomorrow night, folks, major NXT call-up announced during SummerSlam, folks. Tomorrow night, Former NXT champion Keith Lee will be on Monday Night Raw. They are already calling this guy up to the main roster. Already. After his loss to Karrion Kross for that title. For that NXT title. Already, folks. Wow, man. How do you think that's going to have fans feel seeing Keith Lee on Monday Night Raw? I think he should have just went to SmackDown. SmackDown, they don't have much people on that roster right now. I mean, look at the men's roster and look at the women's roster on SmackDown, man. I mean, really. You got more. You might as say you got more young talent on Raw, on the Raw men's roster than there is young talent on the SmackDown men's roster. There's more young talent on Raw than there is on the SmackDown men's roster. I mean, just saying. SmackDown seems like they got all the old guys, you know what I mean? Raw seems like it's got all the young guys. It's like same with the females, you know? Talking about old guys like Goldberg, Hall of Famers, all those guys on those rosters. Anyhow, so we got our main event of SummerSlam. I'm not going to say Summer Scam because this wasn't really Summer Scam. I mean, if you look at it this way. I mean, kind of was, kind of wasn't. But we got Braun Strowman who seemingly cut his hair. He's not. He's different now. So, here's what happened when Braun Strowman versus the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Falls Count Anywhere match. So the bell rings and Braun Strowman rushes the Fiend into the corner and punches him down. Bray laughs and goes back with punches of his own. Then hits a Uranagi. Bray snaps the neck of Strowman twice and the champion rolls out of the ring. So once the champion rolled out the ring, Bray pulls a toolbox from under the ring and hits Braun with it. The Fiend takes some time to laugh, allowing Strowman time to tackle him through the barricade. The Fiend gets back up pretty quickly, and Strowman powerbombs him onto the edge of the table, and it doesn't break. Again, the Fiend gets back up, and Strowman hits him with the steel steps in the face. Bray gets Braun gets Bray back in the ring and hits a splash in the corner, followed by a running power slam. And by the way, this match was probably more interesting than the Apollo Crews versus MVP match, by the way. Anyways, Wyatt kicks out at 1. Wyatt rolls out of the ring, and Braun beats him up. He beats him up on the ramp, slamming him into the stage LED. I'm guessing the LED boards. That's what I'm guessing. They fight through the curtain. They fight through the curtain into the gorilla, where Wyatt slams Braun into the walls and hits Sister Abigail, but he kicks out at 2. The Fiend beats Strowman back out onto the stage and slams him into the LED wall before crawling around him. Bray stomps Braun down the ramp towards the ring and listens to his hands. The Fiend applies the mandible claw, but Strowman grabs him by the throat and runs him backwards into the apron. Braun gets him back into the ring and hits another power slam for a 2 count. Strowman punches the Fiend over and over and screams in his face. Braun goes back out. He goes back out to the toolbox and grabs a Stanley knife, box cutter. He cuts the ring mat, removing the padding and exposing the wooden boards. Fiend is back on his feet and he hits Braun with a Uranagi on the wood. Followed by his sister Abigail, the Fiend lifts him again and hits another sister Abigail for the win. So the Fiend was your new WWE Championship match. So before I get to what happened after the match, I got something to say about the Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre match. I got something to say about the Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre match. So, Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre was having one hell of a clash in this championship match. So, Drew McIntyre won. He was still your WWE Championship. This was a good match. My question to everybody is, do you feel like the championship match was too short? Because I really feel like it was a short match. I really feel like the simple fact that WWE was rushing SummerSlam last night. I really feel like they were rushing SummerSlam last night. And if they didn't care, they were rushing SummerSlam as if they didn't care about the pay-per-view. But, folks, the truth is, Drew McIntyre versus Randy Orton was a good match. I wasn't really sure about the ending, but excellent match. Drew deserves it. It's just tough to see Randy Orton lose after the good momentum he had on SummerSlam. It was a great match. All right. So back to the Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman match. So after that match, so the match ends and Wyatt gets his Universal Championship. He stands up and from out of nowhere, Roman Reigns. Let me get it up for you. Let me get it up for you for a minute. Roman Reigns, folks. Look on your left side of the screen. Roman Reigns, out of nowhere, spears him. Reigns punches Wyatt over and over, wearing a shirt that says, "Wreck everyone and leave." Reigns then gets out of the ring and spears Braun Strowman. Roman shouts at Braun that he's not a monster, not anymore. Then gets a chair and beat Braun with it until it's bent in two. Roman gets back in the ring and waits for Wyatt to get back up before hitting another huge spear. Reigns says Bray is just a freak in a mask and not capable of being a champion. So he holds up the title. And that was it for SummerSlam, folks. Man, you never saw it coming. Roman Reigns is back, folks. Yeah. When I mean Roman Reigns speared the hell out of the Fiend, when I said on Twitter, I meant what I said on Twitter. He speared the hell out of the Fiend, man. The moment that shocked everybody, Roman Reigns returned. Now that Roman Reigns back, folks, you might as well probably say that the Fiend's career is over. You all that are huge, all of you, I'm warning you right now. You all that are huge fans of Bray Wyatt might as well say goodbye, Bray Wyatt, because his career might as well be over at this point if he consistently keeps getting used and wasted on TV. Bray Wyatt got completely buried by Roman Reigns, folks. When I mean he got completely buried, he got completely fucking buried. Yeah, that one. But man, what a way to end SummerSlam. Roman Reigns' return, though. Great ending to SummerSlam. This was a great ending to. I don't think the beginning of SummerSlam was good. The middle and the end of SummerSlam was good. I don't know about the beginning. The beginning looked kind of terrible to me. But the middle and end was okay. This, like I said in the beginning, I'm going to say it again. This really wasn't the greatest SummerSlam of 2020, but it was a decent pay-per-view. I'm just going to say that. It was a decent pay-per-view. But it still kind of felt like SummerSlam. Decent pay-per-view, folks. Decent pay-per-view. So yeah, that was a good pay-per-view, but it was also sad to see Sonya Deville say goodbye to WWE. I don't think she's really leaving, though. I don't think she's really leaving, though. Oh, it is doubtful that Sonya Deville is actually leaving WWE. I get it now because I forgot she does have a trial coming up for her stalker. I forgot all about that shit. Yeah, she's got a trial coming up for her stalker, folks. And that was a traumatic situation. When we will see her again, I don't fucking know. But her trial's coming up, though. But, folks, this was a decent pay-per-view. Folks, this is the end of your August, the 23rd, 2020, WWE Summerslam 2020 review. I still don't like the fact that WWE's not continuing to build new stars. It feels like a travesty. It feels like they're setting us up. It feels like they've been lying to us for years about this. They're still not doing it. Still continuing to fail to build new stars. I would like WWE to do me a favor. Start building new stars right now. Because these Monday Night Raw and SmackDown shows are going to get worse if you don't start building new stars. If you don't start getting those ratings up. You don't start generating ratings. You don't start booking more better matches, better segments, better interviews, better storylines, better promos. And most importantly, if you don't start booking the right characters in the right feuds and the right storylines, oh, you're definitely going to get low ratings. Oh, you are definitely bound to go get low ratings. And WWE needs to do creatively good with all that stuff. Management's nothing but a joke these days because, you know, every time the writers write a script, Vince McMahon reportedly walks out. He rips the script up, reportedly walks out like a fucking dumbass. Like a fucking clown. Just like what I used to call Pat McAfee, a fucking clown for you know what I called him. You obviously know what I called him a clown for, but seriously. Every time they write a script, Mr. McMahon reportedly walks out. Tears scripts up, walks out like an idiot. It's like Vince McMahon's picky about these writers writing these scripts. They need new writers immediately. Bruce and Kowalski needs to get removed. Everybody in that office needs to get removed. Even Vince McMahon. Especially Vince McMahon. And like I said, I'm going to say this again. Fans need to tie the penitentiary to get Vince McMahon fired instead of signing a penitentiary to fire Velveteen Dream. Well, they can do both. They could be doing both then. If that's the fucking case. Jesus Christ. Folks, I'm out of here. I hope you all have a good Monday. I might be doing a WWE Summerslam 2020 recap and review for those of you who missed SummerSlam. I might do one. I don't know. I may not be doing one because of the simple fact that my Monday Night Raw review will be live tonight. And I'm actually going to set a reminder of when my Monday Night Raw review is going to be live. So I'm actually going to set a reminder on Twitter. So probably later on, I'm going to set a reminder when my Monday Night Raw review is going to be live. So I may actually do a WWE SummerSlam 2020 recap and review if I get bored. But I may not be able to do it because I'm going to have news that I'm going to have to put out today. Some news that Ringside News probably are already putting out. So I'm going to have some news to put out. I'm going to have some Ingram Wrestling news videos done and uploaded to YouTube and shared on Twitter. So I got to do that today. I don't know when that's going to be. That's probably going to be later on this afternoon. So I may not. Now, that's probably one thing I lied to y'all about. I may not have time to do WWE SummerSlam recap and review. But at least I did your SummerSlam review, which would be this right here. So, folks, seriously, I'm getting out of here. Have a good day. It is 12:45 in the morning. I'm getting the fuck off. Getting the hell out of here. getting the fuck off of here. Have a good day. And I will see y'all, we'll talk to y'all on my Monday Night Raw review. Thanks for watching. Hit that like, subscribe button, turn on the bell for notifications. I am on the road to 100 subscribers. Help me get up to 1,000 subscribers and help me get up to 4,000 public hours for review. Thanks for watching. Much love to you all. Catch y'all on my Monday Night Raw review. Peace. I'm out.